Hello everyone. So I just had to adjust the stream settings. It was incorrect for whatever reason. But here we are with the glass staircase. Hello Yoverst, how are we doing? I've never played the glass staircase before, so this is one of Puppet Combo's one of Puppet Combo's horror games. This was released in 2019, I think, through their Patreon. Though in just a couple of days, I think it is finally coming to consoles. So I figured, what better time than now to just sort of jump ahead of that and finally play it for the first time. I think I played the first 10 minutes or something just to make sure the game worked last year, because I've been wanting to stream this one for a while. But I figured, hey, now is a good time. Good to see a Puppet Combo game. Had a hankering lately. Well, I'm glad to sort of sate that hankering. So yeah, I'm excited to see this one, because as is my understanding, it's slightly different than some of their other games. It's more of a traditional survival horror, changing camera angle, fixed camera angle experience, and with sort of more of a PS2 graphical style than probably a PSX, PS1 style. And I'm hoping there's going to be some stuff to talk about from it, but hopefully today we'll just be able to plow through it and see how we do. So without further ado, we might as well get started. Don't have any progress to erase, so here we go. Already, I think there's a really nice aesthetic layer of detail there, and like a number of other Puppet Combo works, this one in particular is inspired by a lot of Dario Argento's films. So Giallo movies, his Italian sort of slasher adjacent films. So yeah, I'm looking forward to really seeing what this one is all about, because all I really remember is wandering around this big empty house for a while. So we'll see how we do. So we can spin on a dime with the mouse here. Something to interact with. Take your tablet. No. I don't think I'll do that just now. Already there's a really desolate vibe to it. I really like the sound of the wind howling, just sort of taking over the audioscape here. Just let me know if this game is coming through too quietly as well. You shouldn't go. Shouldn't go where? You're probably right, but I don't know what's going on. Attention all, this is the estate. Helen, if you've already taken your tablet, please report to the dining hall. We've prepared a new task for you. The letter on the table will have further directions. Remember, good girls take their medicine, good girls do their chores, good girls go home. That is all, ladies. Okay, so we don't even have a face to put to whoever has kidnapped presumably kidnapped 4 people and brought them here. What do you have to say? I hope I'm next. What about you? They picked you, Helen. I can't wait to go home myself. Right, so this is definitely not their home. I don't really want to take the medicine though. Can I get out of here without? It's locked. Of course it's locked. Okay. Take your tablet. I guess we have to. Maybe this will unlock the door? There's nothing else to do. Oh, right, and this game uses the Resident Evil 1 method of opening doors. So you'll get a door cutscene every time. Which I think, to a degree, like, does a really good job creating tension. Making everything... sort of drawing everything out, making you wonder what's going to be on the other side of this door. But I think where that formula runs into an issue is if you get lost and you're like running back and forward between rooms trying to figure out what you have to do, and you're watching the same slow cutscene over and over and over again. But I do think I am quite fond of it myself. But then again, I do, I got a big soft spot for the original Resident Evil as well. I think it's a pretty iconic bit of video game language, really, the part of the language of survival horror, watching the doors slowly open as you sort of wiggle the handles. I know Puppet Combo's other Murder House has similar cutscenes, I believe. That's a very good game as well. I should play that on stream too. A letter. Read it? Yes. Helen, though your time here has been short, it is still important that you can be determined as reliable. We would like you to begin tending the front garden of the estate. Twice a day you will need to feed and water the flower bed, as well as maintain the hedges. We are willing to trust this task to you, as you've been very regular in taking your medicine, where some of the girls are somewhat unreliable. You can't expect your parents to want you back if you're unreliable, can you? To dissuade the others from running about outside, we have hidden the key beneath the downstairs piano. Please return it when you're done each day, and be sure to let none of the other girls see you. You're a good girl, Helen. So we're going to feed and water the flower bed and maintain the hedges. So we just got to find this piano. Dusty vase. Is there anything in the cupboards? Musty wardrobe, nothing of interest. Yeah, this is a pretty sparse house. So we gotta find... someone's playing the piano, so I guess we gotta find whoever's playing the piano. I don't even remember if I found the person playing the piano when I booted this up for 10 minutes to make sure it worked. Locked. Well, it's downstairs, so... just have a look around. I really like the sound of the piano, like, sort of fading in and out. That the person who's playing is kind of struggling to keep it together. Musty wardrobe. Anything in this corner? A painting was here. It's been ripped down. Okay. Painting was here. It's been scratched out. Oh, you can sort of see the shadow of a person there. That's quite effectively eerie. Grandfather clock. It no longer works. How long have I been here? So it must have been some time. We've lost track of time. Well, we've been, out of it for a while. Okay, someone stop playing the piano. Oops. Locked. I do like the style of this. This one feels... there's the piano. This one feels slightly more, I guess immediately, at the moment, restrained than some of the other Puppet Combo games. Like, restrained visually, it's letting you take your time to set the mood. Not that the other ones don't do that, I suppose, but I do like the desolate, empty mood of this house. There's a there are two games I'm trying to develop. So I got increasingly large design documents being made for both of them, and the horror game that I want to make does have a similar. I want to have a slightly similar vibe to this, I suppose. Maybe not quite as obviously abandoned, but I do want that feeling to sort of creep up on you. A journal, read it. November 11th, 1918. Edward at last returned home from the Great War. I give thanks to the Lord for his safe return from Germany. To think that just days before he was ripped from me to be a doctor in the war, we were married. He's returning to his job at Queen Mary's Hospital in London. What a dreadful drive it is back and forth, day in and day out, and with the epidemic that's been plaguing the countryside, while I worry for his health. God willing, he'll be all right as he helps those poor souls. February 27th, 1919. My husband hasn't been the same since he went back to work. For weeks he's been spending more time in the basement than the rest of the house. He doesn't even come to bed most nights. I sometimes find him asleep down there in his lab, asleep on the desk, and during the day no less. I asked him if he himself should visit hospital for a checkup, but he brushed it off, saying how he's a doctor and how he knows better than me. I can't help but fret, though. He barely touches the meals Maria makes him. He used to love her cooking so very much. I fear she and the rest of the hired help are worried as well. You fear that they're worried? March 4th, 1919. If the world is to know anything of me from this journal, let it be that I have always been an understanding wife. The love I've felt for Edward and all our years together has never waned, not in the loneliness and uncertainty of the war, and not in the new growing void between us, this void of obsession. As many fears as I've had, I've always put the rational aside when I've heard him assure us that these experiments were necessary, that they were going to repair what faith his colleagues once had in his ideas, perhaps even save the lives of so many more that still suffer the horrible affliction, spectacular a thought as that may be. His words were all that I had during the war, and they're all that I have now. The faith his promises provided me, however, is becoming too worn to be of any new comfort. Though it was far against his will, I've been privy to the growing scope of his work for a while now. What started off as the same treatments and experiments that I followed him through for years has become something else entirely. Large, horrible structures have been his focus for some time now. They look as mechanical as any transport I've seen, but their shapes are much more ornate. The iron that holds their frames has been carved so deliberately with hellish shapes, though they resemble something, I am beyond being able to describe exactly what. To call these metal shells sinister would be admitting I even understand what they are and what they're supposed to accomplish. This is far from any medicine that I've known him to practice, but he continues with his cold, affirming responses. His distance only seems to widen from his work and from the sciences that he swears by, but I can only sit as idle as I can, swearing some hope that his plans are going as he says. It is hard to ignore the things I'm hearing in the night, the murmurs of the help, as they come to me for some kind of assurance, expecting that I know my husband's actions half as well as a good wife should. I have nothing for them but the promises that he gives me. He's a doctor. He knows what he's doing. Nothing I say to them can be said in confidence anymore. I may be an understanding wife, but there are limits to even my understanding. That's quite a well-written bit of exposition there, sort of setting things up. I think my favourite line, to call these metal shells sinister would be admitting I even understand what they are. So it's something like really unknowable, really alien going on here, which really sets the scene very well. So I think we've got to grab the key from under here, right? Try to move the piano, yes. Okay, pick it up, absolutely. Oh, I like that. I like that sound. There's some dopamine in that sound, right? So I guess we can go outside now. You've unlocked it? Yep. Yeah, I don't think I ever went out. Ooh. Yeah, I don't think I did that. shouldn't have gone outside. Attention all, this is the estate. Betty, if you've already taken your tablet, please report to the dining hall. We've prepared a new task for you. The letter on the table will have further directions. Remember, good girls take their medicine, good girls do their chores, good girls go home. That is all, ladies. Okay, so the last one didn't last very long. Do we have any medicine to take? We do. I'm not going to take that just yet. What do these guys say about it? What do you remember about your parents? Helen didn't make it far. Don't believe what they're telling you. No, she didn't make it very far at all. Front door and that was it. Did you hear those sounds last night? It was pretty weird. I don't know why. This is just a personal preference, but I really like the sound of rain that's been compressed or crushed in this way. I think something about it just really speaks to me. I really like the way it sounds. It builds the atmosphere really perfectly. Grandfather clock. So how long have I been here as well? Okay, so we can go out without taking our medicine. So whatever it was that Helen saw, I'm going to explore upstairs. Whatever it was that Helen saw, we weren't privy to, but it looked like it killed her immediately. Compressed rain brings back memories of simpler times with games to me, yeah. Same, I think it must be like playing on nostalgia, and then, as horror games often do, as I like to say, it sort of weaponizes that nostalgia. Makes you feel more comfortable than you probably should. So it doesn't look like there's anything upstairs. Just back down to the dining hall we go, I suppose. I think it's even just like letting your guard down in subconscious ways, I think is often the aim, or should be the aim, of horror games. And when I make my own, that will be my goal, is to make you lower your guard, even just subconsciously, I think. I'm sure that's the goal of every horror game designer. A letter, read it? Yes. Betty, early this morning a package arrived for you. Who knows I'm here? From an unconfirmed courier. The manor cannot be expected to assume responsibility for such a delivery, but as a courtesy we are informing you to retrieve it. Please do this immediately, lest something happen to your delivery. That would be a terrible shame, especially if it were from your mother. Okay. I'm gonna guess it's outside as well. The nostalgia front. Something interesting I've noticed is that Minecraft videos, which show a compilation of older still screenshots from the game alongside its music, have seen a huge trend on YouTube as of late. Yeah, the titles always reference bittersweet nostalgic memories of the game. It is really interesting just how much I think we rely on sound to index memory. Obviously having YouTube is such a nostalgic gateway. I can listen to music from any game I've ever played, really, and trigger those memories again. It's back here, but we do need, video game music is really important to help trigger those memories, index those memories in the first place. And of course, the more that you listen to them and reinforce the emotions that they originally instilled in you, I think just the deeper that emotion gets, sort of the more traveled the pathway in the brain becomes, or whatever you want to say. What's on here? A journal? Another journal? There's really a lot to say about nostalgia, and it's a personal fascination of mine, so I would like to make a video on it, a proper video at some point. I guess we'll see how it goes. But I think nostalgia links in with haunting really intrinsically. I think they're sort of hand in hand, because nostalgia is not just looking into the past, but it can also be sort of a desire for the future to be stable, and haunting can be both done by the past and the future, as paradoxical as that sounds. We can be haunted by sort of the lost future, and I think nostalgia can prompt some of those, or if we go beneath nostalgia, I think we get that haunting sort of feeling. It really is interesting. I need to find more sort of affect theorists, I think, who delve into that kind of thing, because affect theory as well really does interest me. I'll read this anyway. June 24th, 1919. There are a great many things that I've been able to overlook in my role as lady of the house. The awful sounds, the confusing orders my husband has given the help, the smells, oh, the unholy smells. None of this is terribly unfamiliar to his work, though the extremes to which he is willing to push my familiarity with medicine as the reasoning is starting to make me think he himself is losing touch with reality. What I haven't been able to ignore is the heat. Many nights I've laid awake in my empty bed simply watching the window as this terrible heat overtakes my body. Not a heat that can be felt in the air, but something more intense. Almost like a fever, but not quite, as it doesn't radiate from me, merely finds its nest in my body, burning for hours on end. Nothing I do seems to fight off the sensation. No medication I find from Edwards' records, no salve or application I can find. I've taken to simply shedding my sleepwear and staring out into the night, hoping it passes. As much as I want to believe this is merely my mind deceiving my body, the determinate nature of this illness coincides far too closely with the continuation of Edwards' perverse sciences, if they even are to be considered sciences anymore. The longer I permit him to continue his work, the further away he is drawn into it, and I have no proper recourse. This is our life, and I'm as responsible as he is at this point. And I've come to understand that whatever he's come to study, whatever this illness is, certainly isn't what he'd once fought to cure. It's taking its toll on his body as well as mine, and I fear our housekeepers are starting to feel the similar dredge, be it this illness or something more akin to dread. Beyond that, the night sky has had such a terrible glow as of late. Were I a more superstitious woman, I may perceive this as some kind of omen of ill fate, but I am as married to the rational world as I was when I met Edward. Still, a greater part of me wishes he were here during these horrid nights. He used to be able to comfort me. We would be able to see this terrible glow and talk it away as something beautiful. Maybe that beauty is gone. Maybe my husband is gone. So another pretty good note there. I remember learning in a psychology class that smell in particular is heavily intertwined with our sense of nostalgia and memory, because all three are routed through the same area, the limbic system. Maybe we're losing out from not having gamer smell technology in our games. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Because I think you sort of have to accept, to a degree, that that's a really excellent point. I feel like it almost explains, because quite often when I play a nostalgic game, or I play a game in a certain place, in someone's house or something, those memories are sort of flicked on alongside the game. Always amazes me, you seem to have interesting commentary on everything that comes up in your streams. I guess I probably feel the need to work on media which communicates my thoughts and things so much. If I was overflowing with these thoughts too. Yeah, I really want to make something practical so I can apply everything that I'm learning, and everything that I already know. There's always more to learn, but I want to make something concrete and share that with the world, share an artistic project with the world, and video game would be my chosen medium. If I could learn how to adequately 3D model, I think is the main thing. But I'm learning that, so I'll get there eventually. And next year I'm going to have theoretically a lot more free time, so I'll probably put some more hours into the channel, but also we'll be putting a lot of hours into developing this game, and hopefully being able to share at least some of that with the world. But no, I appreciate that. I'm glad that I am indeed saying interesting things. Is there anything else in here? Did she put... I presume the key isn't... No. I don't really want to open the door. I just think, like, in general, horror is one of the least respected genres, and horror and video games obviously still got some way to go to get respect. And like when you combine, like, horror games just are generally, like, they're just not taken very seriously. And you know, I would like to sort of share that how clever they can be and how considered a lot of the stuff is, or even like the accidental stuff that they do. Like, what does that tell us about the intent of the author, or about the game itself, or about the genre itself? There's just so many interesting questions that people just aren't asking, or aren't asking enough. I want to learn 3D modeling so badly too. Never even opened Blender yet. I'll get there eventually. Yeah. It takes a while, but you will get there. You'll figure something out. It's tricky, I won't lie, but I'm not like a natural visual artist, so it's going to be a steep learning curve for me. But oh, that's a great shot there, down in the grass. Didn't even give me an umbrella. I feel like half the trick with these old fixed camera angle horror games is finding the exact right angle, and outside here I think we're getting the exact right angles. There's a lot to love about this. It really seems dubious. I'm really not sure I should be going through here. Just feel like a package. Oh, there's any other way out though. And now we're so small that we can't even see ourselves, sort of covered up by the fog, by nature. We got some good music coming in too. Well, I mean, something bad is about to happen to us. Nothing this way. Where am I supposed to go here? Probably gonna get like eaten or something in a second. Really good music. It's getting the, you know, it's ratcheting up the tension. Old bench covered in moss. Where would this package have gone? This way? Well, that's where we came from, isn't it? I'm getting just drenched here, but I can't look this way, no. I'm just going to do one more check. I have a feeling maybe we need to head back and there's going to be a jump scare on the way back. Once we've figured out nothing is out here. Because this is just a big wall, right? Yeah. And this is a dead end, as far as I can tell. Feels so weirdly comfortable, despite the fact I already know this is a puppy combination game. The rain, the cinematic shots, the fog, the kid dressed in her best. It's pretty nice, actually. There's a lot, like, I think it is tapping into these, like, nostalgic sort of comfort settings. Like, you can imagine just having a sedate kind of game like this, which is funny. It's funny I'm playing this and I'm writing this through here, writing this game design document at the same time, because I think there's a lot that's in this game presentation wise, or just to set the mood and the atmosphere that I could learn from 100%. It's doing a really good job, and I love these fixed camera angles in this maze here. I'm going to be absolutely screwed when I pick up this thing. A wet note, read it, yes. We have all seen the eyes, have we not? We have all felt the heat that powered us here. There is only the one feeling we have all shared, and now we must wait. The wait may be hard, it may be unforgiving, but we must wait. The dreams continue to speak through us. We have seen the doors open, the eye that follows us from the parted clouds, showing us the path to our salvation, the engine that will free us from the binds of the false prophets and bring our Saviour to us. We must wait as the Doctor makes our dreams the reality we know they are. We must wait. The rest is missing. Okay, we love notes that are written in all capital letters. Generally an indication of sanity as far as horror goes, right? Okay, so we just gotta find our way through this maze, I guess, in the rain. I love this music, this is really good. I'm really loving this game so far. Whoa. I honestly think I'm better at taking design notes on games and other media than actual lectures and textbooks. I actually wish games, videos and stuff were better equipped for a learning environment. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for games that like educational games that function on a higher level than just teaching you how to type or you know, teaching little kids, you know, how to write and that kind of thing. There's a lot of games that I think would be improved by even just like a developer's commentary or some kind of extra structure that let you fiddle with the design of the game itself, so you could see how a game would be affected by different design, even just different movement speed, these kinds of things. Because I do, you know, teach a bit of game design and writing. I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing now. And I do wish there was that option. Is there anything in this maze? I really like the maze, but I don't think there's anything else in here, is there? Yep, I just walk into a corner? I did. It feels like I'm like being led to something in the maze, but I'm obviously just missing where that is. It's just given the game more and more time to sort of add to the tension though. I haven't been in this way, I don't think. What kind of courier leaves a package in the middle of a hedge maze? No, okay, there's nothing in there. The courier's probably waiting at the, you know, some other door. I think, yeah, like, we learn a lot from game design, right? We learn a lot about intent. There's, you know, the two scholars I like to talk about time and again, just because I've been reading their work a bit this year, is Alexander Galloway and Ian Bogost, and they both talk about the kinds of actions that we can take in the world. But procedural rhetoric in particular, which is Bogost's term from persuasive gaming, discusses how the actions we're allowed to enact in a game actually inform like our mood and inform what we learn from a game. So even just the ability to fight in a game tells us something about how the game developer feels about a certain situation, feels about empowerment, all these kinds of things. I'm really getting lost here. I don't know where I am. Okay, here we are. This shitty package better be worth it. Carry it back inside? Absolutely. I am so lost. The music stopped, which isn't a good sign. Sorry, Yoverst, I'll get to your messages in a second. The rain is stopping. Good. Because with all I'm sure the rain was like the only thing protecting me from the fire or whatever the heat was. Yeah, this package is like Oh, I can hear something. I can hear fire. I swear I heard something like that. So I feel like the rain was the only thing that was protecting me out here. Yeah, I can hear something. I think I just went around in a circle. Which way do I go? Down this way, I think. Oh. Oh. Okay, things are getting spooky. The tension is ratcheting up. Which way do I go again? I swear that was the exit. Uh-oh. I swear that was the exit. I know, right? I feel so much less at ease with the rain, which I think is a genius move because I think this enemy is reliant on it to be not raining. I presume. Oh dear, which way do I go? Oh, the camera angle's like cutting and changing. It's like being in a horror murder scene. There we go. I can't say that was a great release of the tension, but I did like the building of the tension. I wasn't happy that didn't feel like a good scare. That was just like, man, monster standing there, kind of like not my thing. Kind of a cop out, but I was really impressed, as were you. I think you have asked, yeah, with the build up there. That was really sublime, but it definitely needed a better payoff. Attention all, this is the estate. Dorothy, if you've already taken your tablet, please report to the dining hall. We've prepared a new task for you. The letter on the table will have further instructions. Remember, good girls take their medicine, good girls do their chores, good girls go home. That is all, ladies. Okay, so there's just 2 of us left. Is that right? We're the last 2, I guess. Yep. That's just what I was saying. Okay, so right, Dorothy. I was looking right at it and I still feel like I missed it. What was that jump scare? It was just this big red sort of fleshy monster standing there. Pretty anticlimactic if you ask me. I think it comes down to the problem that I have with so many horror games, which often Puppet Combo doesn't do, but they let you retain control during a jump scare. So like when the nun in Nun Massacre comes around the corner, right? That's scary because you're still in control. Like it's still up to you to get your character away from the danger. Instead of the nun just like killing you in one hit, there's still like a chance to escape, and I think it's that chance, it's that opportunity to act, I think, that makes it scary, at least for me. Know what it was so abrupt and anticlimactic. Yeah, like a cameraman of a live leak video focusing on the action after it happens. It was really weird. It just sort of, it didn't like cut where you think it would cut. It just sort of slowly fades to white. It might have even been more effective if we'd had another abrupt shot of the girl's eyes before she was killed and not seen the creature at all. I do wonder if anything would have changed if I'd taken the medicine as the previous character. I don't know. Sorry, so I'll get back to what you said before. A rhythm game with good songs that asks users to type along to English lessons and such to be a beat. To a beat would be my ideal edutainment. I do think it's interesting, like the gamification of just so many things. I think we've discovered that games can be pervasive. They can be everywhere. We can slot them into education. We can, you can sort of put them anywhere you want, really. And the fact that we do have just games everywhere you look. There's sort of a game for everything you can imagine, really. I'm not saying that it gives game studies even more credibility, because it doesn't need any more credibility, but I think game studies is becoming particularly important as we consider how we gamify things, and consider the impact of the rules and the systems, as Bogost and Galloway do, and as many other really important scholars are doing, picking up on their work, or expanding on it, or even just going in totally different directions. There's a lot of really important stuff going on, and as entertaining as a rhythm game sounds, I think it would be probably a pretty big hit to have a rhythm game that lets you sort of type out an essay or something like that. I guess the question is, like, how entertaining does everything need to be? Which is what horror games often call into question, really. I mean, how entertaining does a game need to be to be enjoyable or be worth your time? I mean, most of this game so far has been me wandering around in the rain. I find that very enjoyable, but like, I'm a weird game player like that. So I guess we're sort of calling into question, to what extent does an experience need to be enjoyable? Because there's still that bias, right? There's still this bias that games have to be fun. I think they're still saddled with that to a huge degree. People find it really hard to get their heads around. I know I did for quite a while. I was sort of wrapped up in this idea, do games need to be fun? And the answer is no, obviously, but there's still a lot of people who say, well, games are escapism. Games should be escapism. There's no rhyme nor reason for them not to be. But I think when you start to look at the kinds of theories that examine game rules and systems, I think you do start to unpick or find just a lot of hidden political messaging, or whatever you want to call it. Just the idea, for instance, that in Age of Empires there's no natural disasters. I can't remember who, it's in a very new book called Eco Games, which released earlier this year, and the article, the chapter in question was written by Mukherjee, I think. I might be wrong about that, but just this idea that empires in games are only destroyed by other empires by warfare. There's no, empires are indefinite, they do not collapse on their own, or from natural disasters or this kind of thing. And I think it's almost like an expectation in games that empires are sort of these vehicles of power fantasy and strategy games a lot of the time, and the perpetuation of them is a goal of many games. And I'm not saying it's not a bad thing. You're not a bad person if you play these games, obviously, but I think it's worth considering how they make us perceive historical events. Sorry, I'm rambling quite a lot. But it is an interesting topic. I should be playing the game while I ramble. Dorothy, we've begun entering the later year, and as such, our daylight hours are getting shorter. We'll be entrusting you to light all the manor's candles before nightfall, as well as snuffing them out in the morning. This is a large responsibility, but we trust you are more than capable of it. We almost do our part here. You're such a responsible young lady, Dorothy. Surely your family will be glad to have you home. Some of my professors try to gamify semesters, although they do it in the worst way, of course. Earn 100 gamer cred for turning assignments in early. Up your win-loss, racking up kill streaks for getting everything turned in on time each week in a row. Yeah, that's the kind of obnoxious gamification, I think. The hamster wheel kind of, accrue points to win. But I don't know how you necessarily gamify like this. I don't know, to my knowledge there's not been a step to gamify something in such a way that it becomes an exploratory experience that really works. I mean, I don't know, I'm reminded of, I guess, like, I read, I've not experienced it myself, but like Assassin's Creed Origins had that sort of tour mode, and where you were exploring all these monuments and taking a tour through the ancient cities and getting all this information about them. I feel like that's a step in the right direction, I think, is having a space you engage with on your own terms is a much nicer method of gamification, I think. Okay, so I've got to light the candles. So I've unlocked this door, okay? I guess we can unlock all the doors now. We got the keys. Suppose we'll just look around. What's in here? A wet box. Contents have been removed. Great. Oh, goody. What was that? Just a candle, nothing interesting. But I need the... Seems to lead to the porch. It's locked. Probably gonna get killed soon. Just for no good reason either. Haven't even found like the lighter yet. What's in here? Box of matches, yes. Just suspended in midair like the candle, yes. This is obviously a bad thing with the flame motif, the heat motif that was going on before. You've unlocked it. Do I get to... can I take a frying pan? Oh, they've got physics on them. Perfect. It's the simple pleasures. It's really the simple pleasures. Stop the horror for a minute. I just gotta play around with the pots and pans. Alright, okay, seriously. Focus. Gotta light these candles. I don't know. It's so nice because most of the time I'm so used to horror games like this. Is there something new around this box now? A wet box. The contents have been removed. It's like a green slime around it. I'm so used to things in horror games just being static, so it was a lovely little surprise there. Can actually run into the pots and pans. I also really like the lighting in this game. Look at the way the candle sort of pulses and flickers. Huge fan of that. It looks really nice. And you can see the candle from through the other room too. That is really cool. I'm such a fan of these little things. Just absolutely meaningless in the grand scheme of things, you'd think, but I think it adds so much to the feeling that this is just one cohesive house that functions as you would expect it to. Totally eerie. Okay, where are the other candles is the question. Is there a candle down here? This is like the worst house. Oh, there was like some bedrooms upstairs. Maybe I can go up there now. It's a really well done house. I like the idea that we're just unlocking a bit more as each character, because I presume this character isn't going to make it either. And then we might get out. Door to the balcony is locked. Might get out with the last character. Unlock this one. But this is a puppet combo game, so it could very well not get out at all. Yeah, what a great idea for a horror game. A journal. Yes, another journal. October 1st, 1919. A crowd of strange men and women has been congregated outside the mansion for days. Must be at least 20 or more of them. They all have almost glassy eyes and the palest skin. They don't seem to eat nor drink, nor do they react to the bitter winds outside. They stand about, shuffling here or there. Sometimes they sit, sometimes they sleep, but mostly they just stand, trying to look inside the windows or knock on the door. Bartholomew and William have already quit because of it. I can't pretend to blame them. I've asked them what they want, and they just tell me they want to see Edward. Why do these people want to see my husband? He won't even see me, let alone strangers. I've only seen him once since August. He was moving boxes through the back door of the manor. He yelled at me to get away, and I did as he said. I'm afraid. I've nowhere to go. October 2nd, 1919. My God, I heard gunshots, not from outside, from the basement. 6 shots and agitated yelling from my husband. I and the servants, brave enough to venture out of their rooms, rushed to the basement door and called for him. There was a terrible banging at the door, then 4 more shots. I heard something fall down the stairs before my husband screamed at us to get away. He almost sounded scared, or worse, relieved. I can't just keep pretending that there's something I can salvage from this. Whatever he's doing is only growing in scale, and that horrible hum from his damned machine is merely the chorus to this tragedy that I now call our life. God, Edward, please. November 8th, 1919. Maybe what I knew of my husband and his work was always a lie. I want to believe that something changed in him, perhaps during the war, perhaps in his need to find an end to this plague as we understood it. We used to speak of all kinds of things for our future, and maybe it was simple, perhaps even idealized, but they were a dream that we could both see so clearly. I can't seem to see that dream anymore. That world is buried beneath nothing but the agony I felt when I last saw his cold, dead eyes. Eyes not far removed from the gangs of shambling lunatics that gather at our doors at all hours. Perhaps there is a new illness that I, nor any of our help, has heard of. It's not as if I've had the opportunity to leave this prison so long. In so long, the whole world could be entrenched in another great war, for as far as I could know. A prison, that's how far from those dreams of the future I've gone. The home that we were to grow together has become nothing more than a prison that I live a waking nightmare in. Perhaps that waking nightmare is preferable to the ones I see at night. On the rare occasions the heat doesn't return, shaking my every fibre awake. There is no doubt in my mind that he can no longer see the future he once spoke so wistfully of. I doubt he can see much of anything anymore, nothing beyond that hellish engine he's brought into our home. At first I've been able to ignore the abominable sins that my husband has brought into our home, but with each night there are new, terrible sounds, some mechanical, some horribly human, all completely unnatural. I am no doctor, nor shall I ever hope to become one, but the godless acts Edward has begun participating in, and the droves of mumbling madmen that now gather at our yard in some kind of perverse congregation, tell me there is no longer a hope in my heart that my husband is any more a man of science. If there were such a hope, it died with whatever abominations he has taken to shooting in the dead of night. I no longer know if I fear my husband, but I am certain that I fear whatever the thing that has replaced him is. Edward has allowed himself to be taken to hell, and I will doubtlessly be forced to follow. Cool, so we got some pretty lengthy journal entries in this game, but I do think they're establishing the setting and the stakes really well. First aid kit, heal yourself. I haven't been wounded yet, but I guess now we might finally have the opportunity to protect ourselves, or at least run away. I don't want to heal myself right now. Whatever's out there hasn't found me yet. I would like to know if me getting caught there in the maze was scripted or not. I really don't know. What rooms haven't I been in? The very far bottom one, I think. And I can't go... yeah, I can't go back in here. I guess we'll go back downstairs. Even though the tension, like, really deflated before, I think they're doing a good job pulling it back together. I know there are 2 rooms I haven't been in that are both locked. So if we go through here... so I guess this is me, like, unlocking the entirety of the mansion for the next person. Let's see... okay, I can hear the fire growing, right? So whatever is stalking this house must be getting closer, or is around here somewhere. You've unlocked it. This can only be a good thing. It's... so much of horror design comes down to the ambience and audio you decide to use, which is another thing I have to learn. Oh dear. It's heavy, whatever's moving around up there. Dislodging a lot of dust. Like that, just a canopy bed. She said the same thing. How long have I been here? Yep. time to go outside and get killed. But yeah, like you really need good sound design to actually immerse your player. And I really do need to learn how to do that as effectively as possible. Got to figure out audio engineering. I know a little from making videos and stuff, obviously, but not actually making sound effects. I think that'll be a new adventure as well. It's all very exciting. I just have to actually find the time to do it, which I will definitely have next year. I'm gonna take some time next year, make myself less busy, so I can do some personal projects, which I think will be rewarding. Have I lit all the candles? How many candles must there be left? Or is my objective to just die now? I presume... Oh, I can leave. I don't know why I'd want to. Other than to, like, nope out of the thing that was inside the house. It's really dark, really hard to see. Okay, this is still unlocked. I don't remember seeing any candles out here, is the thing. Wait, is it fire or is it just the trees moving? Either way, it's pretty spooky. Ooh. This too, having the candles going from inside. It sounds like unbelievable, but like earlier this week in the game design document, I was like, for this horror game, I want to be able to like, there's a bit I want the player to be able to look in and see the candle flickering inside through this window, and obviously not quite the same here, and not quite the same intent, but it's still really cool to see. No, that's not just the trees, is it? I think oh no, this isn't even sealed off. It really feels like a bad idea though. Not that going in the house is going to be any better, but I can't really see anything. I'm going to check the house one more time before I go into the maze, because I know if I go in the maze I'm going to get horribly lost, and if it turns out I didn't have to go in there, I will have just like wasted like half an hour trying to wander around in the pitch darkness. So we're going to go back inside, probably get killed or something. We'll see how we do. Yeah, the atmosphere this game creates is excellent, but I wouldn't expect anything less from Puppet Combo, really. That's what they've always been really good at. Does that painting, like, clearer than it was the other day, or is it just because the lighting's different? So we go upstairs, we'll probably find the monster now. Sounded like it was wandering around up there, or something was. Maybe there was a candle in the dining room as well? Maybe being able to wander outside is a clue. No, wait, this isn't the dining room. See, this is where the door loading screens become a problem. Cool. It's nice to be able to play a horror game that's deeply immersive like this, and that has all the sound design. Does it say how many candles there are? All the Manners candles. So it must just be all the inside candles, but there's none in here. None in here, so I go upstairs. But that, like, the wailing, it sounds both like a person and the wind at the same time, which I think is the perfect balance. Really creepy sounds. Doing an excellent job with atmosphere building. The question is whether they nail the scares here. They haven't so far, but I'm willing to be. I am absolutely willing to be proven wrong. I love to be proven wrong on that front. For a game to actually frighten me would be nice. Right, so we've been in here, but maybe the monster was up here now. That's where we heard it stomping around. Do you think? So there's still the first aid kit. Oh, I'm such a fan of the look of the candlelight coming up through the boards there. It's just so cool. Just gonna harp on about like how cool it is to see candles. No, nothing else up here, is there? Let's see where else we can go. Really, I was expecting the monster to come out again now, but maybe I just haven't been to the right room yet. Balcony's locked. Okay, so what are we thinking? We do have to go outside? Thinking we probably have to go outside. I think we've exhausted all the rooms in here. So I guess back out into the hedge maze it is. I don't know logically why we'd go out into the hedge maze. There's nothing down here, is there? Just a vase in the corner. No. The tension's still building here. Okay. I swear I heard something. That's another really good horror game tactic as well. Silent Hill used that a lot. A lot of the ambient noise was just part of the soundtrack, but you can never be sure whether it was part of the soundtrack or whether it was something else entirely. An actual monster sound effect coming to get you. And on the first playthrough, you just don't know. There's no way to distinguish it. So it's kind of a cheap trick, but it's a really effective one. Because the moment you as a player can't distinguish what's real and what's not, I think. Seems to go under the house. I'm guessing that's the basement where he worked on all of his experiments. This is pretty dubious. We're gonna go this way. But yeah, the moment you can't tell what's real and what's not, what's an actual threat and what's not, things start to become unhinged, and you really do get put on edge. Even just a little bit, and just the longer you are made to wait for the creature to come out and get you, the more effective the scare is. So we're gonna go in here. It's so dark, I cannot see what's happening. I'm probably gonna die. Yeah, I'm really not liking this. Look at that's exquisite. I say I'm not liking this, but like I'm loving this. This is awesome. I can't see where I'm going, what I'm doing. This is what I live for. Where was the exit along here? Holy moly. Like, look at the texture work. Look at the way it looks in the darkness there. Especially up the top left. Just this looming green. Is that the glow maybe that they were talking about? Is it something else entirely? Just a tree sort of through the darkness. Is that the only way I can go? Like, it's impossible to tell where to go. No, I think it's just the hedges, isn't it? Whoa, where am I? I feel like I could just leave it here and it would be like an art installation, to be honest. Where am I? I actually can't see myself. Am I lost? Am I lost in this? Maybe my stream will just turn into an art installation. What if I can change the video style. Okay, right, so we can... Oh, am I behind? Right, okay. So I'll switch it back now. Although, what are the ones we got? Oh, yeah. I love the look of it. I don't think I could play it like that properly. Also love the look of that one. Fan of that too. Goodness me. Isn't there just like this something sublime about it? Huge fan. Works so well. But I guess we can't go through that way because it's been blocked. Maybe this way has also been blocked. I might actually have to change it to this. I don't really like this look. I think it's too clean, but it does help me see where I'm going. Yeah, maybe there's no way through the hedge maze. Just gonna double check. Yeah, this look deflates the game very much. I couldn't imagine actually playing the game like this, but I do just have to check. Because if we go back through here, like yeah, it's just an empty area. Okay, so we flick back to Survival Horror. Okay, so I guess that's good. But there's still a candle we must be missing then, or something. We've got to be missing something. Or we've just been getting really unlucky, and the monster is like looking for me, and I'm just like not in the house. I'm wandering around in the hedge maze like an idiot for some reason. Let's see where we can go from here. I'm still curious to know the meaning of the title, what the glass staircase actually is. So far we haven't heard anything about a glass staircase. Unless it's an expression I've never heard before. Which is possible. Did I check in here with the piano? I did, yeah. No, I did. What to do from here? I am wondering whether I was supposed to do them in a different order, but that doesn't make any sense. Maybe I was supposed to do all the downstairs ones first, and then go upstairs, and then the monster would confront me. But, yeah, it doesn't really make any sense. You should be allowed to do them in any order. And this is the kitchen, right? I think this is the kitchen. That's the room adjacent to the kitchen, which also has a lit candle in it. Wet box. Your contents removed. So I can tell you the atmosphere like wasn't working on me before, but even just from this uncertainty, like I can start to feel myself like legitimately tensing up. Can I do this to relax myself? Here we go. Stress relief. Cool. Is there anything I can interact with along here? Candle has been lit. I wish the note had said there are 5 candles you must light around the house. But then again, wouldn't be feeling this tension, which is why I play these games in the first place. But where haven't I been? Where haven't I been to? There's not a candle in the dining room, we've established that. It's gotta be up here somewhere. The monster was walking around, like, upstairs, or something was walking around upstairs. And I've gotta get caught by it. That's gotta be what I've gotta do now. The monster's gotta come out and get me. So that was the bedroom. Come on. Door to the balcony is locked still. I love the dust particles as well, just as a wee point of comment there. Just another wee detail. Add some more noise to the screen. Empty cabinet. Is there a candle here? Dusty vase. No. Maybe the last person has to dust all the vases or something. Let me think. So like there's a balancing act, right? Like between having a game sort of painting was here. I wasn't really looking at the painting though. Painting was here. Between having the tension like ratcheting up because you don't know what's about to happen to you, and way too much time has passed when you're expecting a jump scare. But I think there's also like there will come a moment where my tension actually starts to go down, because I'm getting frustrated and I've looked in every room of the house and I cannot find whatever I'm supposed to be doing. What have I missed? What have I missed? Like a candle there. Wait, is this a... there was a door there. Okay. Well, we got to see all the house over and over again, and we got to experiment with the hedge maze, so that's alright. Presume there's a candle in here. Yes. Presumably this is also where we die. Yep. Cool, so you notice the music again cuts out, so just left with the droning noise and the eerie silence. A wet note, read it. And the Lord saith unto me, Go out into the masses and preach my word. For the kingdom of heaven is but a lie. Indeed, 'tis a lie, a lie. The God of our forefathers is dead, and in his place we will awaken our new Lord, our better Lord. But blasphemous, from below we will arise. Arise and take the smouldering world of man. My brothers and sisters, our salvation lies in Dr. Edward Sullivan, prophet of the new word. For our lives do we owe to him. So, I mean, my assumption is that the monster is Edward Sullivan, but that feels too easy. Hello? Here's where the tension is like really thick. You could cut it with a knife. It's not. Don't just stand there, you fool, or the chandelier falls on you. No. They deflated it. They deflated the tension again. Just cutscene. You'll just bear with me a second. But yeah, I've never understood just that impulse from so many horror developers. You're almost an HGA sandwich. I was indeed. But I've never understood this impulse to take control away from the player and say, okay, so we've built up all of this really wonderful, exquisite tension. I'm sure if you were watching, you were feeling that tension as well. But then just to have just nothing. So we've got this last character who we're playing as Margaret. So hopefully Margaret's going to be able to make it out. It's not looking good for her. No one else has taken their medicine. I do wonder if that affected anything. It's locked. So, glass is empty. It would be devious if I had to take everyone else's medicine and that made me weaker or something. Take your tablet, no. But that's probably what I have to do, isn't it? Glass is empty. Or maybe all the tablets are gone. Glass is empty, yeah. It's locked. Musty wardrobe. Okay. I guess we'll have to take our medicine again then. Didn't do the first person much good, but here we go. I'll put this one with the others. Gotcha. Okay, she's... The lockpick is under my pillow. Okay, so she's never taken the medicine at all. She seems to be the most sensible one. Protagonist pills taken. Yep, so we're playing as the only sensible one, or the only one who is really onto it. So we'll see. She's even got a flashlight, so that's how you know she's the main character. Hydrate, thank you. Cool. Take the right. Oh, someone's left us a rifle and a letter. Left the rifle like we talked about. You have to kill it tonight. The door to the laboratory is under the porch. Okay. Is the wife still alive somehow? The chandelier has fallen. Indeed it has. Okay. Not really sure what to make of this development now. Whatever else happens in this game, though, the atmosphere building on the second and the second and third sections, and the first section too, really, really exquisite. Okay, what do we got? So we got a reticle here, so we can sort of see where we're aiming. Unless we're aiming really far away, which is cool. You can see it pan across the pillar and stuff there. Okay. So I think we got a pretty good picture of like what's happened to this house, and what's been going on in the basement. I am pretty impressed with this game. It's very good. It unlocks now. Okay, suspicious. It's up to us. No pressure whatsoever. Okay. Got end game doors, nice and big and heavy. That's how you can tell this is a sinister place. Dramatic, and the stairs leading us downwards. See, I want to check the other door first, actually. I know I'm going to have to watch that door cutscene again, but I want to check both. That way feels like the way to the boss, or whatever it is. Good old doors. But it is a visual signal, isn't it? Oh no, this way leads down here anyway. Okay. To like a bunker area, bunker door. Okay. Wonder how many enemies there's gonna be in here. There's just gonna be the one monster, or there's gonna be a bunch of them. What's this? Another letter. July 24th, 1922. My suspicions were not only confirmed, but completely validated by my final discovery last night. The zealots were less than happy to come to realize my line of questioning hadn't ceased even after several more months of my experiments. The hierarchs took to keeping me as content with research material as possible, hopefully to keep me stimulated, perhaps too much so to ask my questions, while the radiant heat from the engine slowly cooked away my mind and warped my body. It's quite unfortunate for them that these walls are my walls, and that I know where to get anywhere I need to in this manner. This is what led to me finally listening in on one of their perverse sermons. The things these madmen ramble on about would give a man pause, but hardly make him listen far beyond that. I've been far too close to these happenings for far too long to not listen, though. Listen and understand. They spoke of their great God and the machine. They spoke of how it communicates through their dreams, as it had with me, showing them prophetic visions of the future. They speak of the day the machine is finally fed the blood of the last innocent. They speak of the blood-red sky opening to their lords, the convergence of the two worlds, the legions of our fallen that will return to herald in the reconnection of the true world to our own, this is pretty rambly, and the slaughter that will fill every city of man, and that their own bodies will begin ascending in their holy vessels. Everything I've been seeing has been given a new context, and I realized I had been betrayed. Every single thing the entity had told me had been a means to complete the bridge, Cain's terrible staircase to his gods. Were I a weaker man, perhaps my mind would have been so gone as to this news meaning nothing to me. But the truth is before my eyes. I will bring the devil to this world if I allow the machine to continue running. So the infernal engine that will summon an evil god. The more blood I spill, the closer I get to ending it for all of us. The maniacs seem to have yet to notice how suspicious I've become, which will work to my advantage. It will take no time to disable the devices that power this hellish engine, and hopefully even less time to destroy it. My body may be changing the same as all the others, but my strength is far from gone. If I can truly dismantle the device, then I may have some chance at salvation. Can't let the pink slime machine run out of fuel? No, we cannot. This will take some time, but if I am left to my devices as I have been, then I will have the time to tie up the loose ends that may be left in this research and plan for safe passage of my darling Juliet. Oh God, Juliet, my wife, how I have betrayed her. If she still even resides in this hellhole I have created for us, then I must tell her the truth, seek some kind of forgiveness. Though my acts may have been as evil as any lunatics, let it never be said that I stopped loving my Juliet. It's not really what the journal indicated, but I will save her from this future. I will end this all myself. I just need enough time to put this in motion. Please wait for me, my love. Let me be the man you know I am. To the care of Dr. K.H. Hauser. Okay. First aid kit. No. If we can't take them anywhere, it doesn't look like we can go down this manhole. So I guess just keep exploring the basement here. There's going to be some enemies soon, I imagine. Hopefully we've got a lot of ammo in this rifle. If there are a bunch of enemies, because it doesn't look like I'm finding any clips down here or anything. Anything in here? Yes. Control panel activated? Yes. Control panel is activated. Sure, that was a good thing to do. Let's see. Can I get in here? No, not at all. This way probably leads back up to that staircase, doesn't it? No. Okay. That's pretty cool. I like that. Alrighty then. A lot of bodies. Presume this is what all the innocent people who've been kidnapped. Is that us? Like yesterday us? Dorothy, are you okay? God, she's tough. Ouch. Okay, so I do have to reload, but I do have a lot of bullets. Okay. Got her. Drop the key, pick it up, yes. Okay. Unlocked it. No, I guess I am wounded. I probably should check how much damage that did to me. Caution, okay. 4 out of 5. If I reload... Yes, yeah, 5 out of 5, cool. No. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to interact with the thing covered with cloth there. Let's go back. Maybe the first aid kit in the top one was, in the previous night, was a fake out. Unless I have to go back up there as Dorothy. But it was an interesting fake out, actually, because most of the time games are very obvious about that kind of thing. Here, have a gun, have some healing items, and so on. as an indication that you'll now be placed in danger. Activate the control panel. Okay. Public address system, turn it on. Yes. Attentional, this is the estate. Or you're taking your tablet, go to the dining hall. Okay, so it's all just run off a recording. Yeah, I guess seems as if the tape's gone like this endlessly. Okay, so they've just been endlessly capturing people, I guess. Is there anything in this electric cage? The power is off, possibly used for experiments. Okay. I do like how it's, it's not some kind of clean, sterile environment down here, as many horror game laboratories are. Let's see what's this way. It's a big basement. Okay. Really got nice occult vibe going on here. What else is... First aid kit, heal yourself. Sure, why not? Okay. I like how the blood stays on the dress there. Control panel, turn on the machine. Sure, nothing happened. What is it, puzzle time? Strange machine, it seems to facilitate a force field. How would you know that? Some sort of steam gauge. Large coil conductor. Kind of sonar. There's a note here, isn't it? May 3rd, 1921. The research has progressed at a rapid pace. There is no shortage of work to be done and no shortage of volunteers. Though primitive, the being is able to fully communicate its continued direction to me through the seeming possession of the fresher corpses that have come as a byproduct of our work, and the living hosts have begun to show somewhat different reactions. Symptoms similar to mine from when I'd originally began my work are common in nearly every one of them, but the longer their direct exposure to the pylons and the energy is, the more detached they seem to become mentally. The reactions seem sharper, but cognitive function seems to dumb down to a much simpler, more passive series of reactions. They have no problem identifying orders, motions of actual threats, but they frequently seem to forget the answers to questions that they knew just days ago. Some of them, when held to the effects for even longer, begin displaying signs of violent mania, often lashing out and attacking other subjects, or, often to their misfortune, me. I do not like wasting any life, much less the life of a subject, but once this mania takes hold, there hasn't been an observable way to bring them back to any kind of lucidity, and certain adjustments must be made to ensure the safety of the others. Troubling as these effects to their mental faculties are, the symptoms themselves are getting far worse in other regards. The longer a living subject is exposed to the radiating energy of the pylons, the more their physical attributes begin to reflect the strain. Many show signs of sun-damaged skin, though the flesh itself seems to thicken and swell, some with boils, some simply to resembling something closer to animal hide. Often their limbs will start to show signs of distortion, but seemingly to no awareness of the subject itself. This is also true with many other changes to their physical features, be it their facial feature distorting or some increased mass to their overall bodies. The entity feigns some kind of ignorance to these physical and mental abnormalities when I attempt to probe further on the effects of the engine, but I am starting to detect a familiar pattern between these cases that is leaving me with some kind of increased concern. As fascinating as this progress is, it's creating an uncertainty that wasn't in me before. How long must I wait, probably, before the intentions of the machine and its mysterious designers... how long must I wait before... That sentence doesn't really make any... Anyway, their closed lips on the subject have always left me with more excitement than concern, but with the increasing show of these mutations caused by it and the degenerative cognitive effects that are occurring, I can't help but feel this is all part of their plan, letting me work on the machine until those same effects came back on me. Perhaps this cult has come to live in my family home. Perhaps this cult that has come to live in my family home understands more about this being than they led me to believe. So they didn't really give us any hint what to do. Large capacitor. Weak candle. Like, I can't open it. I feel like we gotta turn the machine on. But I don't know how. Is there anything to do with this blue? No. Anything else in this room that indicates anything? Are these all like the, yeah, force field, force field. It's a very cool room. Just gotta figure out what to do. There's no other way out of here either. Like, I'd just be going back the way I came. Maybe I should go back the way I came. Because maybe I should go down the other staircase. I'll probably find it was locked or something. But if I go back this way... See if we missed anything. Was this one locked? No. What was in here again? This was the wee cage room, wasn't it? Just gotta check that I didn't miss anything in here. Yeah, this was the wee cage room. So we turned on the control panel. Maybe we gotta turn on all the control panels probably, right? So I just must be missing one or two. Okay, which way? So back down this way. Was there anything at the end of this corridor? Just this door? Is it a door I'd used before? Hang on. I went the wrong way. Good old door cutscenes. Okay, so back this way. Back this way. So we didn't go down here. Got a really bad feeling these things are going to come to life. Unlocked it from the opposite side. Is this must be where the staircase was. The other staircase led to. Dusty bookshelf full of knickknacks and textbooks, nothing useful. Again, the lighting is really nice in this game. They've done a really good job. And the low droning sound, I think, is also very effective. There's so many places to go. There's no map, though. What's in this way? It's a lot to explore. I presume I have to find... Well, these control panels, right? What's this? Another letter. There's a lot of letter reading in this game. There's certainly a lot of background information the game gives us. More than a lot of other horror games of this length and scope, which is nice, I think. November 23rd, 1918. I've been told that the war has affected many men in interesting and terrifying ways, and perhaps I'm less exceptional than I may have assumed. Sleep comes in small, unaccomplished sessions, leaving me all the more strained in my daily life. Though I fear that my exhaustion is far from the main reason for my disconnection and lack of focus, my practice suffers, my research is all but flattened into nothing, and I may truly have nothing to show for it. For all the fears I've had that my life would end in those trenches, I feared all the more that Juliet and I would never be able to find the solace we once had together. Through all the frozen nights and terrifying days, filled with the blood and viscera of my countrymen, it was really the only thing that gave me any hope that this would all amount to something. And what of that motivation? Completely squandered, proven to be as fleeting as my own fidelity. I returned from the horrors I witnessed only to feel nothing in the home I left, and comfort in the arms of but a girl in my manor's employ. I see. I can't even begin to hold this weakness against Maria, and much less Juliet. But ever since I returned, there's been something in me, something that wasn't there before. That newfound mental peculiarity may very well be responsible, as my sanity first started to prove unreliable, as I began to recognize the faces of the men that were held together under my knife and the will of God during those horrible days. Some men I'd met on the long voyages to the fronts, some I knew more personally. Once I'd spent well past 4 hours working on the shredded chest of a young man caught in the blast range of artillery. The operation had felt so mundane that it wasn't until I was sure we'd lost the young man that I recognized him to be my cousin, Garrett. I don't think I had a single tear left for him when they shipped him back here, to the family burial grounds beneath my very feet. Why could I not shed a tear in the realization that I had lost a childhood playmate, a family member, a true friend? Maybe that was all I needed before I felt the weight of the war pressing down on me, and the dreams began. There was no subtlety in the onset of these visions. They came as hard and heavy as one could expect of a fever, but they seemed much different, much more visceral. All I could hear were voices that guided me towards something that would need to be done to save all of us. A grand solution that would save the lives of every creature. These sprawling growths of belief started to seep into my waking moments, and they've drawn back with me to my home. I want to lose this, but I feel the voices are only stronger here. They've driven my madness to places I cannot stand to see myself go. They've drawn me to take the body of a young woman, to betray the only future I wanted with the only woman I wanted it with. God help me, Juliet. Please forgive me one day. I need to find something to satisfy these voices. I need to return to my studies and save whoever it is that must be saved. I need to sleep. January 13th, 1919. This long, and I can still barely look my beloved in her face. I draw away from her every time I need her most, as I know I do not deserve her. Okay, so it's making a bit more sense now. Maria continues to concern herself with me at every turn, and as much as I do not care for the girl, I fear she must not understand my true feelings for our deed. So I hide now in the laboratory I've made of our old cellar. For all the snivelling and self-loathing I've done in my self-appointed isolation, I've begun to work especially hard on this newly spreading disease from the southern of Spain. It's to create a key focus on my work throughout the days, perhaps even give my dreams something to focus on. Perhaps this is the cure and salvation my weary mind needs. Maybe this is how I'll save us all. My research has been progressing as slow as one could imagine it would be for such a new field of study, but perhaps this is where my old dreams may be trying to aid me once more. It seems strange, perhaps, to give any credence to my own delusions, even if I simply try to excuse these actions as feeding a growing hole that my exhaustion has been creating. I think my dreams may actually know something I do not. Upon researching some further notes left by my grandfather, I have found what appear to be a type of blueprint that has come remarkably close to the very structures I've seen in my waking delusions. The rational part of me wants nothing more than to place my knowledge of this device as some distant memory of having seen these same blueprints in my medical studies for university, but the honest part of me knows better. My visions are becoming too prophetic for me to believe them the simple soft-headedness of my war-shaken mind. There must be a reason why they've become so much clearer since my return to the manor. I must continue delving into the catacombs below where the old notes were held. Every indication is telling me that the remnants of the machine are somewhere on the grounds, and Grandfather's old journals strongly suggest he had them crafted for some kind of cure himself. What it truly does, or how it could be expected to work, is far beyond anything in my own field of studies, but perhaps if I continue to follow the development of his notes, perhaps it would all work out in the end. The more bizarre and detached my research seems to become, the more clearly I can see the dreams again, and the clearer images they start to make. I see hints of a design, something that seems utterly alien to me, but at the same time it has a familiarity to it, like something I've seen in a much deeper, softer memories. One's faded deep into the back of my mind. I just need to listen a bit closer tonight. Maybe I'll hear something clearer. March 1st, 1919. I think I've come to realize what's being asked of me. Now, I think what's interesting, horror games often deliver their exposition through these sort of scattered notes. And it's not a bad way to deliver exposition, and I am invested in the narrative of this. Something is coming. Invested in the narrative of this game. I find it interesting and the concept interesting. I do like the tiny glimpse we're getting of this creature here, but we're not getting a full look at him just yet. But the sort of element of the concept of being fed a story in fragments through text, I think, is interesting in itself. There's still a lot of Portrait of a Man. Is it the Doctor? We're being fed this story sort of straight from the past. We're sort of acting as archivists in a sense. and we're probably the only one, we the player, understand what's going on in a more holistic sense. A realistic statue. Yeah, that's really cool. Than any of the characters in the narrative. So that places us in a higher position narratively, really. Right, yeah, so this was the way back up. So we'll go back through here. There's got to be like one more control panel, maybe. We'll just make sure we've checked all the rooms anyway. Was it this way? But yeah, we sort of get this like privileged sense as a player of what's happening. Okay, training table. So this is a pretty nice looking place. First aid kit, heal yourself. No, I'm still fine, aren't I? Yeah, haven't been hurt again since. Dusty stretcher. Ooh, hanging corpse. A lot of corpses, big pile of corpses. Activate the control panel. Okay, that's probably all the control panels. I fail to see there being any more than 4. I think I explored the other wing. Because what was up? Is there a door? Whoa. Is there a door up both ways? Or you're right. So I think it's just back this way. We'll go back to the lab and see if we can switch on the big machine now. Hoping that's all we need to do. Otherwise it'll be time for another lot of door cutscenes as I wander fruitlessly around the area. I can't get to this one, there's just chains in the way. I don't know if that has any significance or not. I'm sure when we activate the machine though, it will probably activate all those golems, or whatever you want to call them. Just the big eerie statues, I guess. Not really golems. No, not golems at all. Okay. Alright, boss fight time, is it? Can I activate the machine? Nope. It's like wearing a mask? Ow. I need to reload now. Reload faster than that. Oh. Fighting the camera angles as much as I'm fighting the boss. Oh. No first aid kit in here, is there? No. I don't know how many shots this thing takes. That many? I killed it. About 10 bullets, I imagine. 2 clips. Turn on the machine. Cool. Look at it go. Okay, that's pretty cool. I don't know what it does, but that's not looking too good. It's blocked. Yeah, move the debris out of the way. Not looking good. Is that it? Is that the end? No? Whoa, I'm still alive. How am I still alive? How do we get on the other side of this gate? How did we get on the other side of the gate? It was locked before. Okay, I guess I'm not complaining. Where are we now? In the catacombs that he was talking about before. Big bugs. Or rats, or I think, no, big bugs. I guess we'll follow some of the bugs. Or they're all going in different directions, I guess. Medkit would be nice, wouldn't it? Probably escape this way if I could remove these bars. Okay. Question is if there's anything. Now the power is back on. The obsidian glass power coagulators can finally expunge the plasmatic vorpal generators in order to use their Geringson's gauges to felicitize the electron black matter exciters. Well, I'm glad we got a scientician in the chat to explain that to a layman like me. So yeah, I appreciate that explanation of that incredibly advanced machine. How do I get out of here? Not looking good for me. If anything else attacks me, I'm probably going to get killed. I've got so little health. Pull the gate lever, yes. Really exquisite sound design, just very authentically angry gate. I have no idea where I am supposed to be going. Was I here before? Don't think so. But who can say? Am I supposed to be following the bugs? Because the bugs really are all going different directions. No, I've definitely been here before. This is where I need to pull the bars away. Damn, these bars are bulletproof. Where can I go from here? It's very strange. I sort of assumed the game would end, but I guess not. Still got a wee bit to go. It's down here. This is all the ancestors buried in the, buried in these coffins. Check all of these rooms, I suppose. Any, this open coffin? Anything in it? There's a person in it, but I can't. Nope. This place looks like every rural budget hotel room. Just here's your ancient stone catacomb. Here's your one bed. This looks suspiciously like a coffin. A realistic statue. It's interesting. You don't really get to see the statue. The camera sort of goes off to the side. This is the way we came in though, right? Or no? This is different. I really need a first aid kit. Did I leave any down here? No, I left the letter. I have no fear of death. I have for what may come of me here. Dr. Sullivan is the prophet of the ages. Even being able to see the staircase to our saviours, right, the glass staircase to our saviours, is an honour that I may never have hoped to have in this life. I will give this vessel unto whatever is willed of me. The only true pain left is waiting, waiting to bring us to salvation. Let any who read this know, I was one with the true God. I helped bring us all to salvation. There is no greater honour than this. Okay, if you say so. Looks like you were just like lined up in a prison. There's a message in dried blood scribbled on the wall. Be on to all that we're... No. Be on to all that we are one. The stair shall ascend to the true and only God. Okay. Travis text, that was originized text right there. Travis has been here. Travis is the one. summoning the god. It makes a lot of sense now. A grenade. It must be left over from the war. Take it. Can think of nothing I would like more. That's how we're going to blow open the bars, isn't it? Do we ascend? Do you get to ascend the glass staircase? So is that how the game's going to end? That's what we've got to do. Blow those bars open. Oh, the statues are gone. Got to break the glass ceiling. We sure do. Hello. Here's a pretty cool looking zombie. I'm like super wounded though. Oh dear. There's kind of a few of them. Probably going to be everywhere now too, aren't they? Yep. Reload again. Oh, come back. Just wanted to shoot you. That's some real Silent Hill music going on here. Chapter 2 of Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Wouldn't surprise me if that was an influence. Reload again. Where is this? Where do I need to go again? Dead end. Nothing back there. Hello everyone. Oh dear. Which way do I go? Okay, I guess it's out of his area of jurisdiction, I suppose. Didn't expect me to come back. Animation of the initial zombie climbing out of the coffin was the same. Not many different ways you can climb out of a coffin. No, I suppose not. But it wouldn't surprise me if they like looked at that and used it as a direct point of comparison. Aha, here we are. Use the grenade, yes. Run away. Let's get out of here. Okay, first aid kit, yes please. I'm fine again. Assume that was the fire I... yeah. Fire I started. Cool, so we've been this way before. Okay, we can't go out the easy way, because of course we can't. Gotta fight through all the statues, of course. Everyone's just running away from me. I feel just gunning down these zombies. They're like, no, please. Did you miss? Did they miss? They missed. Okay, they didn't miss though. Oh, what? Are they invisible or something? Times like these that make me wonder what the original shoot your way through a mysterious crypt against the reanimated dead was. Betting on Charlie Chaplin. Yeah, I think Charlie Chaplin inspired the Mr. Bean episode where he fought through the London catacombs or something, you know? Here you go. Oh! Oh! Whoa! There's so many of them. And the camera angle is like fighting me at every turn. See you later, suckers. There'll be a big one down here, won't there? The one behind the chains. Oh yeah, right, it's gone, but... It's a cool setting, I'm not convinced this game was as scary as it could have been. The atmosphere is still cool. But I guess fighting against these slightly ineffectual zombies just isn't necessarily cutting it. Oh dear. Being set on fire though, on the other hand. Excuse me, sir. Any chance we can rewrite history and pretend Pathologic has a segment where Dan Koskis used his trusty gun to fight out of Grace's inexplicably large crypt? She somehow built out a stonework entirely alone. There's the sequence where he's got to fight with his gun in the graveyard, so I mean technically Pathologic carries on the tradition, right? Emergency escape ladder, yes. Let's get out of here. Okay, blood red sky. I don't need this anymore. The flashlight, right. Took me a second to work out what that was. Okay, yeah. Successful mission. We destroyed the lab and killed the big monster theoretically, but I have a feeling it's probably still alive because that's how these things tend to go. Door to the balcony remains locked. What do you know? What do you know? Oh. Can I just leave? I'm not particularly invested in fighting him. I guess I have to. What is happening? Whoa. You died. Okay. I did die, yes. Where does that put me back to? I'm really hoping it auto-saved. Wasted. It really was a very over-dramatic death screen. I hope this doesn't put me back like ages. Oh, it puts me all the way back here? What? The wasted screen from the GTA remasters, I haven't actually. I don't know why it was so stretched out like that. I can't believe I was killed like that. Okay, I guess I gotta do that whole thing again then. Hardly seems fair. Blood PNG placed on the normal wasted screen. Fantastic. It's nice to know effort goes into these things. Alright, I'm gonna blow that off with the grenade. Let's find the grenade again. Just gotta find the big crypt room, which is here. I'm gonna unlock this again. Cool. And then come back over here. You can scream if you want. I would if I was sent back so far. If I die again, I don't think I have enough time to finish it today, so hopefully I can beat this monster next time. There's like, I think there has to be an expectation, right? Like for the player. First aid kit, yeah, I've already done that. There has to be an expectation, right? Like, okay, like I'm playing a game that has a system that will send me back ages if I die, and I think you have to enter into an agreement with the game. Like Fear and Hunger is like that, and that's, you know, I've accepted that about the game, that that's actually a part of the game, part of the game's method and rules and system. But then I sort of feel like this game has been auto-saving pretty well up until this point, so for it to not autosave after I run through the gauntlet of all the zombies is a pretty extreme decision, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not really sure why they did that. What good they thought it would do for the horror atmosphere, but I guess they must have been thinking something. Reload. Just no nonsense, these guys, honestly. I just think it's cruel not to have a checkpoint, like, at the final boss. I shot him 5 times, he just had invulnerability frames. Got him. Back we go. Sort of, yeah. Any game with a chaser enemy that insta-kills you is just exhausting. This game doesn't have that, but Outlast is... Yeah, I mean, there's nothing scary about the section anymore. I know all the beats, and I know the monsters can be pretty easily killed, really, all things considered. They're not that intimidating an enemy. It's just trying to find where to go is my main obstacle. It's yeah. This is the kind of horror section that you just don't want to have to do again, especially when you're so close to the end of the game. Sort of ends up leaving a bad taste in your mouth. But I don't want to forget how good those initial sections were, because that's what I want to capture from a horror game that I make. I want to capture that atmosphere, but I don't want to derail it as it has sort of happened now. It's just become a shooter, which to me is uninteresting. I think every monster should retain some level of threat. I get kind of fed up with the idea that monsters just sort of become just fodder for your gun. I guess I'm just not interested in power fantasy when I play horror or anything like that, or action when I play horror to any degree. There can be some fighting and that kind of thing, combat, but I think having a sequence like this undermines the really expert work that was done early on. Yeah, the intro was genuinely some of their best stuff so far. Set the expectations too high. I agree. I wrote an article about Blood Wash, which Puppet Combo didn't make, but they did publish, which has a very similar problem, in that it sets up like an hour of expert atmosphere and then just tips it all down the drain for like scripted jump scares and that kind of thing. And I get, like, there's something to be said for, you know, aping B and Z horror movies, but I feel like we kind of miss something by just detonating that really effective horror atmosphere and just ending up sort of doing nothing with it in the end. It's just, it stops being scary when control is taken away from you, or ironically when you're given too much control, too much power. You have to maintain that balance, I think. Oh god. The camera angles in this room are just abominable for this sequence. So many enemies. Most indie horror games would only benefit if they just refused to add guns. Kills all the tension when you gun down an enemy who was chasing you like it was nothing and then just stands there staring at their low poly texture. Yeah, I feel like I would like to have combat, but I need to figure out some way to avoid that conundrum of like taming the monster, I think. Because when you can just gun down the monster, it does to a degree like deflate the fear you feel. There's nothing, there's no emotion there when I'm shooting that monster, I can tell you that. There's nothing that I should be feeling from this sequence, which is so that same tension I was feeling before. There's just nothing there, which is a huge shame. I was fully ready for this game to like pull a nun massacre or something and really scare the shit out of me, but that just hasn't happened, and it doesn't look like it's gonna happen at all. Hopefully we can beat this guy now. I don't really like, he moves really fast, which doesn't really seem fair. Don't need this anymore. First aid kit. I am wounded, right? Yeah, I am, so I'll heal myself this time now that I know that he's actually going to come back. Speaking mainly about the low quality itch.io YouTuber bait stuff, yeah, any trope can be done well if manipulated in a clever way. They're not inherently bad, you do just have to be thoughtful about how you use them, absolutely. But no, you're right, and I should clarify, there is nothing inherently bad about it. Read the letter. We didn't read this before. To the care of Dr. K.H. Hauser, after a discovery of him residing over the bloodied body of that maid in the upstairs study, it became very apparent that Dr. Sullivan could no longer be trusted to continue his research. Exposure to the energy, obviously too much for his mortal body. He rambled all the more like a madman as we delivered him to one of the holding cells in the laboratory. What knowledge his twisted mind may still hold may serve invaluable to us should things go any more wayward. So he will remain in captivity until such a time that he's deemed useful again. It seems in his chaotic yammering he mentioned that he'd shut this all down. We can only be led to assume that his mania may have made him a dangerous enemy to our cause. We can no longer risk this. Our Lord guides us in precise ways. If we have to find the remaining souls that our Lord needs to join us on our own, then so be it. We will search for these innocents without the aid of the Doctor's clear connection with our Lord. With any luck, your own strong connection to the other realm may gain us the knowledge we need. We must bring our world into the fold. We must reunite with the realm of our God, the true God. So Silent Hill stuff here. This house will remain our church, and we will send search for the ones our Lord requires. We will save this mortal pit of sin and be bathed in the holy light of our Lord, my brother. We hope to receive your continued support as the years continue. Please find any sacrifices our Lord deems worthy, and have them sent to the manor. Once we remove the remains of the maid and the wife, who is believed to have also been slain in Dr. Sullivan's madness, we will prepare the manor for any kind of investigation that may proceed from this. Do not concern yourselves with the care of the homestead. We will make the manor the place of worship it was always meant to be. Brother Marlowe. I just feel like the initial concept of like having to do these chores or follow these and you're being picked off one by one just doesn't line up with like this action heavy like giant flame monster like bursts through the door. Like it just, it's a very different game. that we've got going on here. Hello, Franco Lindsay's. Good to see you. You've just caught the end of this very disjointed game. You're very late. It's good to have you here regardless. Like stopping to respond to an email in the middle of a haunted house. I presume he's going to take another 10 bullets or something to put down. He's just kind of comical, which is a bad look for your big main horror thing. Lumbering around on fire. There we go. Oh. Wow, that is not your name at all. What happened there? Got him? God, blew his head up this time. Okay. Is that it? Am I done? We go home now. Monster killed. All sense of tension deflated. All sense of mystery gone. Is that it? Are we done? Let's see if we can get out of here now. Knowing my luck, he's probably going to chase us through the hedge maze or something if we have to go through there to get out. Out we go, I guess. Okay. I don't need this. No. I would carry that, to be perfectly honest. I would continue to carry that with me until like I was safely a long way away from this shitty mansion. That was a dumb decision, I just gotta say. Unless... What? Who's this? Are you ready to go, Margaret? Yes. Who are you? So that was the glass staircase. Imagine a platoon in Vietnam taking down a squad they spotted and dropping all their equipment. Don't need this anymore. Threat defeated. We're finished. I'm out. So there's a lot of cool stuff to recommend about the glass staircase. The atmosphere through 3/4 of the game, impeccable, close to untouchable, and how well it was ramping up the tension and the exploration and the feeling of materiality of exploring this manor was great. There's a lot to enjoy about this game, but I think it lost the plot, and it never capitalized ever properly on the tension that it was building. So the kinds of lessons I would want to take from this game is how it builds the tension, and then also how it loses it, how it crashes and burns in a sense, and how insistent it is on the action side of it. Don't get what happened there. Also got very distracted for quite a while in the middle of the stream. To be honest, I didn't quite follow why the game had to take the path that it did. There's a lot there to recommend, and a lot of interesting stuff the game does. But I think there's got to be other things things that we can improve on from this game. And so the lessons I take from this game are atmosphere, but also would want to look at how action is implemented in my own game, and avoid terribly rampant, just overabundant action, I think. But yeah, I hope the original plan for today was to stream another game, but thanks to that death right there at the end, I think I've run out of time to do that. So I might probably just head off after these credits have rolled. No, I think it's worth playing. I think, particularly if you are a fan of Puppet Combo. And it's good to have another one ticked off the list on stream, but it's been a great 3 minutes for me, yeah. Well, I'm glad you could experience 3 minutes of absolute madness, disjointed madness. Yeah, it's been an interesting game. If you choose to go back and look at the VOD, hope you find it interesting. Now play through the whole game again on low graphics settings in case it changes something hidden to high setting players. That would be a pretty cool feature, to be honest, if you had to play it in these terrible graphics settings. This me, there's a lot of patrons here. Because I did like flicking around and looking at all these other graphic settings, but it did make me wonder how playable the game would actually be in those moments. I feel like you could only play the first two sections where there's no actual danger, and you can take as much time as you like to get to the story bits. I can't see being able to play in black and white in pitch darkness while monsters are chasing you as being actually playable, but who knows, probably someone has proved me wrong. But I am a fan of the effort that Puppet Combo goes through to recreate the feelings of older media. I think there's a lot to write about there too, how effective it is. So yeah, I don't think I'll be streaming Pathologic later this week, unfortunately, but I should do another Pathologic stream later, the week after this one. We'll see. Otherwise, I'm also hoping to be back at this time next week to stream, or either Pathologic or Fear and Hunger, probably. So that's the plan. Someone in a stream I watched years ago for Sam and Max Game claimed that one of the puzzles could only be completed by enabling reflections in the options in order to see a character's deck of cards. To complete the part, we need to cheat at poker, and it's been my favourite thing ever since. That's pretty clever. Yeah, I played through Shattered Memories, but it was on an emulator because unfortunately my PSP's bit the dust, so I need to get another one. But the reflections in the emulator didn't work, which broke two of the puzzles in the game, which was a shame because I thought the use of reflections was really clever. But unfortunately, the people I was showing it to were a bit like, huh, what's going on? Which was a shame. But I do like that kind of thing. Right. I hope you enjoyed The Glass Staircase in full, with added analysis and commentary. I might have some more things to say on it later next time when I sort of digest it a bit more. But it was a very cool game, and I wish it was as tense and scary as it was when nothing was happening. That's probably my final word on it for now. But good to have you guys here. Appreciate you turning out to watch. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for playing Return to Castle Wolfenstein for us. Just as you remembered, I'm glad I could unlock some nostalgic memories for you there with the with the rain as well. Hugely nostalgic, hugely comforting. Thanks everyone for watching. Great to tick this off the list, and I will see you later on, probably next week sometime. Catch you later. You too, take care.